my name is Ali, and welcome to my channel. We are back with Mystic Destiny Serendipity of Aeons, Tatsuya's Root. So, let's go. I try to change the subject quickly before I lose my appetite. Exactly what is it that happened after I passed out?
Not what you're hoping, probably. Since I didn't know your address, I took you to my home as thanks for helping me.
And that room? It didn't look like it was yours.
That's because it's not. It was my late sister, Nori's. I do have my own room, but sometimes I sleep in there. I don't understand why I took you there. I don't let anyone in there but my closest retainers. I just got the feeling that Nori might like you, I guess. Or maybe it's that you reminded me of Nori. She was a strong, independent woman who never backed down from a fight. She had an immense sense of duty and responsibility. She was nothing like me. She would have been clan leader if she wasn't killed in battle 10 years ago.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry to hear that.
As for why I fell asleep next to you, I don't know that either. You looked so peaceful lying there on Nori's bed. I just wanted to lie next to you. I used to do that too with Nori when we were kids.
Katsu says that last part in a voice so quiet I can barely hear him, yet a sharp pang goes through my heart. I had no idea he had any troubles. Someone as carefree as he is. I guess everyone carries their own burdens. I also feel like Katsu is starting to talk to me like a reasonable person, at least, and I can't help but feel sorry for him. Nori was attacked just like I was, only her opponent was far more deadly. A lightning mage who was brave enough to attack a water dragon in the rain. I often wonder if I had been at her side, would I have been able to save her? If she'd had someone like you, if she had someone like you there, would you have been able to If she had someone like you there, would you have been able to, like you helped me? Whatever. Katsunosuke sighs and downs his drink in one go.
Dwelling on the past pisses me off, yet I can't seem to stop doing it. But after so many years, I'm finally close to achieving my dream and leaving all that behind me. To that end, I'll do anything to make it happen.
I'm surprised by Katsu's outpour of honesty, but then an insidious smile creeps over his face. The way he looks at me, it's like a pawn about to be sacrificed by a chess master.
And you are integral to ensuring that it happens. To that end, I have a question I want to ask you. Will you marry me?
Are you screwing around with me? You're weird, dude. You're weird.
What reason would I have for doing that? No, a marriage between you and I would only benefit my plans. It will end this internal feud between the Yukimiras and Kasimas. My rule will solidify, and with your power and lineage of Shizuka's descendant, we'll be able to shut anyone down who challenges us. You'd be treated like a queen, and you'll have anything you want. Not to mention that acquiring so many properties and assets would be a huge boon for Shinomura Industries as well. Of course, there are other more physical benefits as well.
Aw, you nasty. No. Your snake needs to go back in its little hidey hole.
I don't mind giving a preview. Mixing business and pleasure has always been how I preferred it.
Dude, no. If you've seen Friends, put your mouse back in the house, if you know what I'm talking about. Ugh, how can you just say stuff like that? Your logic is sound enough, but unfortunately for you, I'm not interested in you in any way besides a potential business partner. Besides, based on what Taku said, and what you yourself have said, you might just be a criminal.
Give it some time, we can discuss it later.
Despite my protests that I won't need any more time for his decision, Katsu ignores me and orders another glass of wine. As we finish our dinner date, We couldn't be in two more different states of mind, me irritated and Katsu as pleased with himself as ever. He seems like one of those people, I get what I get. I get what I want, and nothing's going to stop me. I had no choice but to let Katsu take me home. Instead of talking, we listened to his rather eclectic music tastes, but I was grateful for the distraction. He stops the car as we arrive at my apartment, and Katsu looks at me. Have you thought about my proposal anymore? I sigh at the persistence. We're going to put, I don't need to. Look, I'm flattered and all. You're a decent-looking guy, and I'm sure you'd have some girls falling at your feet. But I don't need to be treated like a queen. I'm going to make my own way in the world, and I don't have any romantic interest in you whatsoever. So I politely decline your offer. You are quite a difficult conquest. But for once, it just makes me want to try harder. I think it's so weird that it keeps changing from Katsunosuke to Katsu. The name thing. I don't know why. It's weird. Kind of bugs me. I'm a bit irritated too, though. I'm not sure you get how serious I am. I have everything riding on this deal, so I'm not giving up so quickly. Besides that, I am so curious to find out what it's like with you. Oh, you creepy. No, get away. Katsu leans over to me as if to kiss me, and I start freaking out internally. However, I put up a brave front and lean back, letting my anger guide my words. If you even think about trying something, I'll wipe the floor with you. I'm not going to let you satisfy your sick curiosity just because you want to. Katsu sits back in his chair, grinning to himself. I fight the urge to exhale out of relief. Fine. I wouldn't want to trigger your unbridled rage or anything. Besides, it's not my style to waste my energy taking something by force. I don't know, he seemed the type that would do that. Katsu trails off, and I take it as a sign to open the car door and get the hell out. I step out of the car and give a small, terse bow, thanking him for the food. Katsu only gives a quick nod, his eyes lingering on my face before driving off. He's creepy. I don't like him. After a hot shower to clear my mind and soothe my aching body, it's already after midnight. I get into bed, checking my phone before sleep. Sorry about tonight. I'm not used to not getting what I want. See what I told you? See? He says it right there. I won't do it again. I don't believe him. I do not believe that he won't do it again. Yeah, that's right, you won't, because I'm not giving you the chance to do it again. I sigh, thinking about how unusually sincere the email sounded. Ow. Katsu brings mixed feelings, as always. I guess if he became a clan leader early, he might have been spoiled. Why can't anything be straightforward? Having yelled the feelings I've been having for weeks, I feel a little better. Oh, I didn't realize she yelled it. I'm not going to yell it, though. I sink into my sheets, thinking about the past 2 days' events. Both the Yukimuras and Katsumas have experienced pain, and Katsu says he's trying to fix that. In the end, I still don't know what to do about anything. Unsurprisingly, no answers managed to come before I fall asleep. Oh, chapter 13. We're getting close to the end. I think there's 15 chapters altogether. Chapter 13, Crystals. The next day is Sunday. Where is this place? So, on a whim, I decided to take the train to my dad's house. Oh, there's my answer. I should have just kept reading. I'll wait there all day if I have to. I have to talk to my dad. I'll ask him for advice, and I'll finally ask him about Shizuka. Oh, she's cute. We finally get to meet her, because I don't think she even showed up in Sho's route. I think, she called or something, but I don't think she ever actually, didn't see her. As expected, my sister Ko is the only one home. She greets me with so much enthusiasm that I start to wonder how it's even possible that she has that much energy in her. We make ourselves some tea and snacks together and sit in the living room. So, what's new, Ko?
Actually, I have some big news. I have a boyfriend.
Really? What's his name?
His name is Yuki, and he's in my class. And he's just the most wonderful person ever. He's an artist, actually, and he's really cool. I think you guys would get along well.
He does sound cool. So, how are you doing in school?
I'm doing really well, actually. I'm one of the top students now, and I joined a bunch of clubs and stuff, so school has been really fun.
I look at my little sister as I take a sip of my tea. I can't get rid of the worry in my heart. It's just funny how young she looks, and I'm like, man, I didn't have a boyfriend until I was 21. That's kind of sad. I know it's not. I know a lot of kids, some kids are even freaking 10 years old having boyfriends and stuff, but I was a loner. I was the quiet one in the corner that didn't want to say anything. I wasn't a nerd because I wasn't smart. I was a choir freak, but I wasn't one that'd go up to a guy and go, "Hey, you're cute." Well, I'm sorry. If I said they're cute, they'd be like, "I'm not cute. I'm tough." It's like, no. Anyway, I don't know. Let's just move on. What would happen to her if she had to be the one to take over the company? I know it might be a little early to ask, but have you thought about what you want to do in the future yet?
Well, I have been thinking, and maybe I could be a writer. Then Yuki could draw my book covers. Or maybe I could continue studying flute and become a musician, or maybe even do acting.
My brother's fiance is actually a flautist. If you don't know what that is a person who plays the flute. Yes, it's called flautist, not flutist. But yeah, and she also teaches high schoolers, I think some elementary schoolers too, but how to play the flute and stuff. But anyway. She looks so serious when talking about what she wants to do. I smile. It's so wonderful that she has so many dreams. A strange feeling stings my heart. Keo is always full of hopes and dreams, while me, I never really had any. The image of Tatsuya flashes in my mind and I realize something. He's more like me than I ever realized. He's doing everything he can to give his little siblings the same chance. The chance to follow their dreams. Keo and I spent the evening together, just talking and then making dinner together. Dad doesn't come home until later that night. I like that they do that. It's nighttime, so guess what? The outside's going to be night too. Some games it's like you can't put two and two together. There's no difference. And even the light dims, which is really cool. I wait until the three of us finish having a nice family dinner together before bringing up what I wanted to talk about all this time. Luckily, Keo leaves to her room after dinner to call her boyfriend, as she does every night. Dad and I have a seat in the living room, and he pours me a glass of wine. So, what was it you wanted to talk to me about? God, Dad, you're good looking. Man, if you were a dating choice, I'd date you. It may be a little odd, but I take a sip of my wine, giving myself some time to sort out my thoughts and how to begin explaining everything. I look up at Dad. He's watching me. He's watching me with a gentle smile, and I know he's patiently waiting for me to start talking whenever I'm comfortable. I take a deep breath. I need to talk to you about everything that's been going on in my life. There's a lot, so you might be surprised. I tell him everything what's been going on I tell him everything what's been going on is in as much deep detail as I can, and everything that Katsunosuke said about Shizuka. Dad listens to everything very patiently. He doesn't rush me, even when I have to pause a couple of times to gather myself. I'm so sorry that you had to go through all that, sweetie. I had no idea that your life has become so difficult. You must know that you don't have to sacrifice yourself or your future for the business. And you certainly don't have to marry anyone for it. He sighs for a moment. I see how tired and sad he seems. My God. Here, let me redo that. He sighs for a moment. I see how tired and sad he seems. Dad tries to smile for me, but it comes out more like a grimace. As for what Kasema said about your mother, I think it's about time you know then. How we met, what I know, everything. I lean forward in my seat, listening to every single word. Dad tells me the story of himself and Shizuka from the very beginning. That they met over 30 years ago, when he was still very young, very arrogant, and very hot-blooded. He fell in love with Shizuka very quickly, but she wouldn't give him the time of day. Not like that. At the time, he didn't know that she was an immortal. How could he have known something like that? But even if I had known, I wouldn't have stopped me in the slightest. There was always something so lonely about her. I wanted to help take some of that loneliness away from her. I got a cough. He tells me that somehow he managed to get her to agree to finally go out with him. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Thirsty. For a while, it was amazing. But during one of their dates, something had attacked them, and Shizuka was forced to reveal her magic to defend him. I think in that moment, I fell even more in love with her, with the incredibly powerful and wonderful woman that she was. After that, Shizuka had told him the truth about herself, that she could never die. Dad didn't care. He wanted to be there for her, even if it was for just even if it was just for something that might have seemed like a blink of an eye to her, whatever. But Shizuka left, and no matter how or where he looked for her, he couldn't find her. Dad did try to move on, and he was very happy with Keio's mother, but unfortunately, she was a very frail woman. After the death of his first wife, Dad renewed his search for Shizuka, and that's when he found her, and me. He tells me of how torn Shizuka was over her decision to go through with the ritual. Giving birth to you is perhaps one of the very few decisions that she didn't regret in her long life. You are her treasure, and you became mine too. You aren't my daughter biologically, but that doesn't matter. It never mattered to me. So, does he not know that she is actually not even a human? I don't know. In my heart, you're as much my daughter as Keio is. I wipe away the tears forming in my eyes. I love you, sweetie. You're my precious daughter. Never forget that, okay?
I love you too, Dad. Thank you for finally telling me this. Hearing what he had to say leaves me feeling relieved, knowing that she didn't hate me, knowing that she might even love me, wherever she is. As I lie in bed that night, I reflect on what my father told me. Those books, interesting. All those times, in all the dreams, she had seemed so sad, so unwilling. Now I understand why. But does that mean that I subconsciously knew she felt that way? Or does it mean that she was really there? I don't know the answer to those questions, but I finally feel like I can stop being so afraid. She didn't hate me. She didn't want to hurt me. Even if I can't agree with what she did, knowing that eases so much pain in my heart. I realize now that all the doubts I have in my heart don't have to rule me over. Somehow, hearing that story, hearing that I'm the daughter of a woman that strong, it makes me feel that I have enough strength to deal with anything life throws at me. I'll make my decision. I can do this. I won't let either of my parents down. I'm running. Oh, I haven't had a dream like this in a long time. Not since I told Tatsuya about Shizuka. Somehow, I can think these logical thoughts, but I'm still running in darkness. It's like I'm watching myself play in a role in a movie. I stop, hearing a voice. From my left, Tatsuya's voice. A voice I've missed so much calls out to me. From my right, I got a hiccup. That hurt. From my right, a smooth but lazy voice that irritates the hell out of me. They're both calling for help. I realize that I can't help both of them since they're in opposite directions. It seems like Tatsuya's the right choice, but I remember all the awful things we said to each other, and how rashly and violently he acted without remorse, and how Katsunosuke's intentions aren't bad ones, how he wants to prevent more mistakes from happening. I have this awful feeling that I have to choose wrong. That if I choose wrong, I'll ruin hundreds, no thousands of lives. Without me, though, I know they'll both die. I sink to the ground in darkness, sobbing. Who should I choose?
I am going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you next one. Bye!